If you need help becoming a better passer in Madden, I've got you covered. I'm going to teach you all the top tips and tricks to master the passing game, help you get more yards, more touchdowns, and cut down on those turnovers. First and foremost, you need to practice your pocket presence and setting your feet before you throw. This is the most important thing about becoming a good passer. It's crucial to remain calm in the pocket, to climb it just like so, and to set your feet before you throw. Otherwise, you're going to have inaccurate passes, you're going to take sacks, and you're just going to put yourself in bad situations. Get in practice mode for a little while and just go against random defense and practice climbing the pocket, setting your feet, and getting comfortable with this. This is one of those things that it doesn't just come to you naturally all the time. You definitely need to practice it. You need to get comfortable with knowing how to maneuver around the pocket, to kind of shield yourself with the offensive lineman, to get away from pass rushers and things of that nature. You typically want to be moving up into the pocket, up into the open space like so, and that's going to buy you more time. It's going to allow your blockers to stay engaged. You're not going to make it easy for the pass rushers to have easy lanes at you. If you're constantly moving backwards or to the side too much, you're making it a lot easier on the pass rushers because they have a beeline for you once you're maneuvering outside the pocket or moving backwards, and then it's also a lot harder to set your feet when you're moving backwards as well. As you can see here, if I'm moving backwards and then a pass rush comes and I'm trying to deliver a pass, it's just not going to be as accurate. It's going to be harder for me to get the ball to my receiver. I'm creating more distance between me and my receiver as well. But if I just try to remain calm, step up into the pocket, set my feet, I'm going to have a much better time. I'm going to have much more accurate passes, and I'm typically going to get a little bit better blocking out of my offensive line. The second thing you want to learn about are the passing modifiers. Now, you can throw a low pass or a high pass. Typically, I like to stay away from the high pass because they just get a little bit more inaccurate, and it also puts your receiver in a situation where he can get hit and you can throw tip picks. So I try to stay away from those, but low passes are really, really effective, especially against zones. Like, you can throw it low and you can get underneath the zones just like that, and you make it really hard for your opponent to intercept it. Now, to throw a low pass, you want to hold down on the left joystick. You also want to hold down on the left trigger or the LT button while you're also holding down your receiver's icon, and that's going to throw a low pass, and then you can kind of click on your receiver. You can hold A or X to possession catch it, go down, and secure the pass. This works really well on curl routes as well. You saw us using a slant, but now I'm going to show you a curl route. I'm throwing a low ball, and it just puts it in a spot where really no defender can make a play on it. Either I'm going to catch it or it's going to be incomplete. Slant routes and curl routes are the routes that I like to use the most with this low pass because against zone covers, the slant can get underneath the intermediate zones, and with a curl route, you can get underneath the deeper zones that are going to try to stand over you, or some of the curl flat zones that are going to try to get underneath you. It's a very, very good tactic to picking up safe yardage. Really quickly, if you're getting value out of this video and you don't want to miss out on any of the other top tips I'm going to be posting all year long, consider subscribing and turning the bell icon on. It really helps the channel out a lot, and it'll make sure you're always up to date. The next thing you want to learn is pass leading. Now, to lead a pass, you hold the left joystick in any direction you want to lead it. So, for example here, if I'm trying to hit Stephon Diggs on this crossing route, I'm going to hold the left joystick all the way to the right as I'm pressing down his icon, and that's going to pass lead him all the way to the right because he's running to the right side of the field. He's running to the sideline, and I want to lead him completely to the sideline and away from this safety. Notice how the safety is not able to make a play on it because I'm leading the ball as far right as I can. This is also really important on corner routes. So watch how we're going to lead the B receiver to the sideline, and look at the distance we get between him and the cornerback. Now that we're going to the left side of the field, I'm holding the left analog stick all the way to the left as I'm pass leading the corner. Now right here, watch, I'm not going to pass lead it. I'm just going to throw it regularly, and look at this. Now it gets intercepted. That is the difference between pass leading and not pass leading. When you have routes going to the sideline specifically, like corner routes or crossing routes, you want to make sure you are pass leading them to the sideline because it creates just enough separation to keep it away from defenders. Now, over the middle of the field, typically you're going to pass lead when it's man coverage, but you can see right there we had a lot of room. We beat the defender pretty easily, but there's going to be some situations where the defender is going to be a lot closer to you. Here, we'll throw it to the B receiver. You can see how much closer the defender is to him there. Stephon Gilmore was just right behind him. If we didn't pass lead that, he probably could have made a play on the ball. Now let's take a look at some basic route combos you'll want to learn now that you have all the basics covered. So one of the most popular route combinations in Madden is having a streak route, a corner route, and a flat route on the same side of the field. You can accomplish this out of formations like the gun bunch right here, and that's why the formation is so popular. So basically, you want to find a play that has a corner route preferably at the slot receiver, and then you can hot route a streak and a flat route. You can hot route the streak by pressing Y or triangle. We select the B icon because you want the streak on the outside, and then you press up on the left stick. To put your tight end on a flat, you press Y or triangle, select his icon, and then you press the LT or L2 button. And this is a great concept against zone because either the corner route or the flat should be open against any zone in the game. If the zones play back, you would hit the flat. If the zones play down to the flat, you would have the corner. And if you get man defense, corner routes typically beat man defense as well. That's why this is such a good route combination. So right here we can see the flats wide open. We pass it down to the tight end and we get about 7 to 8 yards, which is great. Now, in the event that the defense plays down to the flat route, you're going to see, look at the corner route. Now, that's wide open. And again, we're using our pass leading here. We didn't really have to because he was wide open, but we still want to lead it to the sideline and make sure we put it in the right spot. Basically, you need 3 receiving options on the same side of the field to do this concept. Here, we're a little bit more spread out. It's definitely better if you're doing it from a bunched or compressed set because it just gives you better spacing. But I'm going to show you right here, the same concept works. Look, the flat's open. We dump it down to the flat. Again, we pick up our 5 to 7 yards. If they play in the flat, the corner would be open. Another really simple route combination is the basic curl flat. You can see it on the left side of the field here. We have Diggs on a curl and we have Beasley on a flat. Now you have tons of these littered throughout any playbook in the game out of any formation, but you can also hot route them too by pressing Y or triangle, selecting their icon, and then you can see in the bottom right corner, you have curls and you have flats. So you can do this out of any formation as well. So basically the idea here is if the defense plays back like this, you can hit the little flat route and you can pick up a few yards. It's not as good as the other concept because the flat route here might only get you about 3 yards. So watch here, they're going to play to the flat this time. Now we have the curl route. And again, we can use our low pass trick there. We didn't really have to because he was open enough, but we can do the low pass to even have a more secure pass. So you can see how all the tips are starting to come together now. Now another great concept is the mesh concept, which has 2 drags going underneath. You can create this really out of any play because you can put 2 drags on any play with your hot routes, but there's a ton of just stock mesh plays throughout your entire playbook as well. They'll call the play mesh. It might be called mesh post or mesh corner or just simple mesh. They have a ton of different variations, but you're going to always have 2 drag routes on these plays, and drag routes are the best routes in the game. They get underneath zones very easily, just like that, as you can see, because most zones are going to drop a little bit too far back, and you can dink and dunk with these for 5 to 10 yards underneath, but here you see a man defense, and drags usually beat man defense very well too, especially if you have some fast players. Now we're on to the next step, which is blocking. One of the most crucial parts about being a good passer. If you don't understand blocking, you're going to get sacked a lot. Good players are going to eat you alive. You'll never have a chance. So here we are with another mesh concept play now out of gun bunch. We're just kind of stringing these tips together now. We're going to send everybody out on a route, but notice the defense is all kind of hovering over the line. This is a popular blitzing look, and it looks like they could be blitzing. Now let's say that they do blitz and they catch us off the edge really quickly. Look at that. They sent 6 rushers. We only had 5 blockers. We never had a chance to get the ball off. If you don't block somebody, that's going to hit you every time and you're going to be in big trouble. The best thing you could do is block your running back when somebody is sending extra rushers at you. It's usually good to leave your running back in a lot of times versus players that are blitz heavy. Sometimes you're going to want to send him out on a route because he can be a good weapon, but blocking him more times than not is going to put you in a better position to succeed. To block him, you press the Y or triangle button, you select his icon, which is Y in my case, and then you're going to hit the RT or R2 button. Now you can see our running back is blocking, and now watch what happens. This blitz is picked up, we hit our mesh concept, look at Cole Beasley cooking the defense, and we're getting huge yards. Always block your running back if you suspect a blitz, or especially if someone's just been throwing the blitz at you a lot. Make them do something else, because if you do, look at this. We have all day now to throw. We're in the pocket, our feet are set. Again, stringing all the tips together. We're becoming a better passer each step of the way. The next thing you need to learn is it's okay to take your checkdowns. In fact, it's really good to take your checkdowns. If they're open for 5+ guaranteed yards, that's what great players do. They take it every time and they don't look back. Average to good players sometimes want to go for the big route too much. So on this play right here, we have 2 corner routes, we have a streak, and that's what people want to do. They want to hit the big route, but when you're looking for the big route every play, you open yourself up to a lot more mistakes, throwing picks, taking sacks, incomplete passes. If your checkdown's open, you just take it. Now, remember how I said block the running back if you think they're going to blitz? Right here, this looks like a blitz look, and it is a blitz look because I called a blitz just to show this. Now, the other thing you can do is actually leave your running back on a route, because typically versus a blitz, the flats are usually open, which means either your running back's going to be open here or your tight end's going to be open. So while blocking your running back can buy you more time, if you're very quick in making your decisions, you can hit your running back or whoever else is leaking into the flat versus a blitz and pick up huge yards. So sometimes it's nice to leave that option on the play as well. Now right here you could see it's the tight end that's open. We have a blitz coming. We get rid of the ball quick, and look, we're pretty much picking up a first down in the flat because there was nobody over there. But even in a situation like this where there's no blitz on the play, I can see that the tight end's pretty open right here. I'm going to take it and I'm going to go get my 6 to 7 yards. I could have held on for the corner route or maybe the post or the deep end route. We have some deep routes on this play, but if I see my tight end's just open for a safe 5 yards, I have to take that every time if I'm a smart player, because that's going to keep the chains moving. I'm going to always be moving in the right direction instead of holding on hoping for the big play. We also have the running back who's a check down here over the middle. Hey, he's wide open for about 6 to 7 yards. We can take him. Why wait for the deep route if we already have guaranteed yards? So learning how to take your check down will definitely improve your passing game more than you can imagine. The next thing we need to talk about is throwing the ball away. Yes, an incomplete pass is much better than taking a sack, and it's definitely much better than throwing an interception. You want to live to see another down, or at the very least throw it away and punt the ball and make them have to work. Now for the sake of just this tip right here, let's just say nothing's open. Oh, they're chasing us down. I can click the right stick in and it's going to throw the ball away. So your right joystick, you know, you can move it up, down, left, or right. To throw it away, you actually want to press it down. You want to click it as if it's a button. You can push it inward, and that's how you're going to throw the ball away. You do want to make sure you're outside of the pocket though, because if you're not outside of the pocket, you can get intentional grounding, and that's going to be the same as taking a sack. So when nothing's there, or especially if some pressure's hitting you out of nowhere that you didn't expect and you're running for your life, just get rid of the ball, go regroup, and get ready for the next down. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you want to stay up to date with all the top tips all year long, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on. I will see you next time.